Why are you trying to... I just, honestly. Honestly. Right, sorry, I'm back. I'm back on now. Sorry about that. I don't know what keeps happening, but honestly, you'll have to just keep trying your hardest. Right, 1 second. Right, 1 minute. One second. Share the live till later and everybody. Just give me 1 minute. Guys, I don't know why you're trying to take me down, okay? Honestly, I'll just get my account back. So I do want to go into a few things, okay? With when I was on about this morning's live, I do want to go into a few things. Now, I know a couple of people come in here this morning and said quite a few things to me, which wasn't the truth. The reason why I am going back into these awarenesses is to clear my name and to put the facts out of what actually happened, my side, because there's a lot of things that need clearing up. Now, a lot of people had a lot to say about me these past couple of months, and when we talk about families grieving and leaving people alone because they're grieving, but we have videos that are suggesting that they're not grieving. Because if you are grieving and you are feeling some kind of way, what you would do is you wouldn't be involved with trying to drag others down. You wouldn't be in Tom, Dick and Harry's box. You would be at home grieving or being in your own space to grieve. So when people are putting it across that they are grieving, you also have to take into what the person is doing around whilst they are grieving. So if I was grieving something, I wouldn't be on the internet trying to destroy somebody else's character. I'd be grieving at home in my own space. So we're not going to go for the grieving card. Unfortunately, that's expired. And that expired when that person decided to come on TikTok into 25 to 30 different boxes to scream Keisha Black's name the way they did. Fortunately for me, I do things that are down the line. So when I put my side out and my awareness of why I did this, and to be honest, I'm not even solely having the awareness on the child. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's not what I want to bring to the app, because I don't believe in that. But what I am trying to bring to the app, and the justice that I'm trying to look for, is clearing my name that I wasn't the reason of this child's death, and also I wasn't the reason of this child being removed. And on top of that, why I was doing them awarenesses, we're going to set it straight. I was doing them awarenesses because I believed that substantial amounts of money was being raised and was being given, and only certain things were being shown. Some of these things were given for free. Some of these things, they were funded. And some of these things could have been from gifts, GoFundMe, whereas holidays, car lessons, Botox, businesses, IVF, and the list can go on. So when you are, when I'm doing this awareness, I want you to get it correct and what I'm actually doing. I am first of all clearing my name on two different things, which are the most serious accusations, which would be that I was not to blame for that child being removed, and I never rung the social services and had that child removed, with the evidence and what's also been said out of Katie's mouth, which has come out of Katie's mouth and also Darren's mouth, of why the child was removed, and also a lot to do with the mother, Sam. And then at the end of it, for some reason, Katie decided to lose it, and she decided to make the viewers believe that it was because of me. I'm not being left with that, and I have a right to come up to defend my character and have my say. The reason why I'm going to be bringing these awarenesses back is to clear a few things up. I'm not here to go over to even try to bring up anything to do with the child side of things. I don't agree with that. Luke the judge and the rest of them did that, and she had nothing to say about them. All the videos of what they said about the Hardys, thank you for restoring it, TikTok, all the videos that they said about the Hardys, every single one of them, including Pearl Price, which was, when you look at the videos that I did, which I was only asking, where are the receipts? Where is the money that's been provided? And what is it being spent on? That's all I asked for. I didn't speak about their parenting. I didn't speak about what they was doing to the child and how the child was on live. I didn't go into any of that. When I let you listen to what Luke the judge said, compared to the lives that I did, you're going to then question why she did not want to go up there and have it out with any of them, and only wanted to solely have it out with me. And to put all this stuff onto me, which wasn't the truth. I didn't see anything to do with the Hardys for a whole year after I stopped doing the awarenesses, after she got the court thing on me, which she gagged me. I didn't open my mouth. So how could I have been something to do with the death of that child and for her not being here no longer if I wasn't around for that whole year when you had the gagging order on me? I wasn't doing any of the awareness lives. I didn't speak about you. So I definitely wasn't involved with the death of that child. And when it comes to the social services, I have them. Darren, nearly 2 years ago, explaining why they'd moved out of Katie's and all the situation with the social services. Then I have Katie coming up when she's telling people she's grieving, but she's in 27 different boxes, all hours of the day, trying to bring down Keisha Black. She's telling the viewers how it was me that had the child removed, and I was the one that rung the social services and made all this happen. Then you've got her on another live, and she's telling Lou's Reviews and the rest of them all this stuff about Sam, which is the mother, and why the social services got revolved. She's even playing recordings of Sam wanting somebody else to ring the social services on the Hardys. This is all going in it. So what's going to happen is this. I'm going to clear my name up, and I don't give a fuck if you lot are going to say she's grieving, because I'm going to counter that back and let you and make you aware that she's not grieving. Because if she was grieving, she wouldn't have had the strength to come up to trying to neutralise my character for 3 months plus. That wasn't a grieving mother. That wasn't a grieving stepmother. A grieving stepmother and a grieving mother is somebody that is in the background, and look at how quick there was to try and damage my reputation. Not even 5 to 6 months after that had happened. She couldn't wait. So when people are saying to me, well, why are you bringing this up now? Well, would you like people to believe that you was something to do with a child dying? Would you like people to believe that you was the cause of them being removed when there was on end of life care? Would you have wanted to be the cause when all I was asking for, where is the receipts? If you are getting IVF and you are getting thousands of pounds, that's supposed to be for the child, you want to have the best care of life, the best care for the child, but you're going on holiday and the child's being left in hospices, well, you're sunning it up wherever you're sunning it up, on top of the IVF, on top of the car instructor's car, getting the lessons, on top of the engagement ring, on top of all of the holidays that they went on without the child, on top of everything that was bought. All I was saying was, Is there any receipts? Is there any, where is the money gone? Where is it, where is the money gone? Because what I'm seeing is there's businesses, there's car lessons, there's IVF. And all I was suggesting was that this money was going on this stuff because there was nothing else to show. Everything that was to show was what there was given for free, or there was given because a charity gave them it. Okay, I wasn't going for a child. I wasn't posting a child. I wasn't monetizing off a child. All these lies that this woman has put out on my name, they all will be redacted because I will take full responsibility of what I did in them awarenesses, and it will be solely down to the truth. The truth and nothing but the truth. And what Katie should have done, while she said she was grieving, she should have come up and told the viewers the truth. What Katie did was she brought two women up from the travelling community because she wanted the notoriety. She wanted the big explosive, and we gave her it. Just like we gave her it with the Rob situation. You see, Katie wanted that, and we gave her exactly what she wanted, but she just didn't like the ending of it. You see, this is what happens when you're going up against somebody like me. This isn't a bullying life. This isn't harassment life, because look what I've just endured for the past 3 months. So when she's up there saying, well, I'm coming up here now because I'm strong enough, I'm not grieving, but I'm strong enough to come and tell my story of what Keisha Black did to me. But I'm not going to mention what Pearl Price said. We're not going to mention what Luke the judge said, because that would look terrible, wouldn't it? It'd make Keisha look like a saint. So we have to put all of this on Keisha, and poor old Sam that hasn't even had a voice, hasn't even come up and even been able to exercise her fucking mouth. But Keisha's in the wrong. So what Keisha's going to do is, with all the evidence and all the videos, you see, I like to go through videos. I like it when people get excited, because you know when your adrenaline's going through the roof and you really want to destroy somebody, you'll do anything. You'll do anything. But the thing about me is, when I want to get to the bottom of something, I don't look to destroy that person. I look with the facts and the truth. Because what happens, Katie, is when you are showing the truth without the lies, without the deceit, that's what comes across as real. That's what comes across as organic. I don't have to bring any extra people up. I don't need to pay people to lie about Katie. All I'm going to do is show you what I was putting out and what I was asking, which was the receipts. And then I'm going to show you what all these other top creators and what they were saying about the Hardys. And when you see what, just type in Keisha and the Hardys. Go look at my videos, and then type in Luke the Judge and the Hardys. Type in Pearl Price and the Hardys. Or should we name even more creators that had a lot of foul stuff to say? But one of them, most importantly, go look at Luke the Judge. Now, what he said out of his mouth, I didn't agree with. Because when I was doing my awarenesses, I was passionate about protecting the children and what was right for the children. Maybe you might have not seen it in that time because you were so far in it. But if you're not a person that's not lived in care, you're not going to be protecting the children and thinking the way I'm going to think. All I was doing was thousands of hundreds of £1,000s have been made. And what is to show? Where are the receipts? That's it. But everybody else said the most foulest stuff about them and their child, about these lives and what they were doing. Just go look at what Luke the Judge said, and go look at my videos, and you ask yourself why Katie wanted to destroy Keisha Black. You ask Katie why she didn't call any other big creator out. Should we tell you why? She couldn't call Pearl out. You know, the one that was arguing with her over the money. She couldn't call Pearl out because she needed to use Pearl to drag down Keisha, because Pearl had the numbers. She couldn't use Pearl. So it was, you know what, Pearl, you're going to get a pass because we're going to use your numbers to destroy Keisha. And you know what Pearl sat there and did? Pearl sat there and went along with it. This is how sick these individuals are. Pearl sat there and went along with it and forgot all about the part that she played and the things that were coming out of her mouth to her community. But we must put that under the rug and blame it all on Keisha. What about Luke the Judge? When he was saying all of that disgusting things about the child and how what you was doing and what you was on, where you was going, what you was using the money for. And that live, what he did was disgusting. I didn't agree with it. And I knew none of my lives that I did on the Hardys consist of anything of what Luke the judge said. So why is it, Darren and Kate, that you didn't have any energy for them? Why didn't you have any energy to go up and say anything about them? You know what? Do you know what this is? This is my last term. Honestly, this is my last term. It was only a matter of time before I come off the weed. Had Ramira at her dad's, gathered all the intelligence, so there's nothing you can take away from me. Business is in my brother's name, and my name will be cleared in 72 hours. Once my name is cleared in 72 hours, a lot of these top creators are going to want me in their box. Okay? Because a lot of lies have been spread on my name. Honestly, for the past 2 years. I'm going to do this in such a way, I'm only going to come with the facts and receipts. Okay, because I'm the authentic one. There's no catch to this. This isn't about clout. It's not about hate. It's not about causing any more animosity. This is about, because I'm strong enough now, Katie, to be able to come up here and explain to the viewers and show the viewers exactly what I did during these awarenesses. Nobody else will be in the box. I won't be going to anybody else's lives to be jumping in their boxes. I will be doing this on my own platform. And we're also going to be showing them how much you thought that you was in control of the Rob situation, wasn't you? Somebody that was, going through all of this trauma and all this grieving, but managed to go around to all these people's boxes, was managing to have days out with these people that she thought that was going to have me arrested. You thought you was going for a picnic, didn't you, with Rob? That revenge needs to be served on Keisha. I don't think so, love. We was laughing every second of the way. And you know what the funniest part is? Imagine gathering everybody together. See, I didn't have to do that. You did it for us. Imagine that. And the thing is this is what you call, these people are so obsessed with money motivated minds that they are the way they are. So how I see it in my life is this: I am going to come up and speak on what they've done to me, more in particular what Katie tried to do to my character and what she did and who she brought up the lies. When you're bringing paid actresses up to come on live and lie about me, and you are bringing these people up to say, this woman's lost her hair because of Keisha, but I have never met this travelling woman in my life. I have never done an awareness that's ever on Best Girl and ASD in my life, on any travelling people. So when Katie brought them travellers, the two ladies to come up, one of them brought the ashes online. This is when it was it for me. I thought, when she brought them two ladies up to lie about me, that's when I knew she's dangerous and she's fucked now. Because when you are doing something and you are doing it the right way, you'll win. She would have won. But because she did this in such a way that she had all that shit going on with Lee and Rob, she had all the shit going on with Best Girl, which she brought them two travelling ladies up to lie about me. One of them brought the ashes online, and she said that I was the cause of that death, on top of Katie saying I was the cause of that death. Then she brought another lady up that said, never met this woman, never saw her in the day in my life, never did an awareness. She brought this other paid actress up, Katie, not Best Girl, because what Katie didn't know was this. When I was in the background, there's one phone call that you all hadn't heard. This is between me and all the travellers, and I'm telling you, there was a lot in this call. Now, what they didn't know is this. When I was on the call with the travellers, and I'm saying to them, you are fucked. Not only did you put the article about Rob, you've allowed a travelling woman to come up to lie about their dead. Yeah, and I'm thinking this is what Baskel's doing. So I'm thinking, Baskel, you're fucked now. Jamie, you're fucked as well. Because when the truth comes out, the travelling community are going to go sick on you lot, not me. Because I haven't met these people. I don't know who the fucking are. So I'm thinking the whole time it's Jamie and Baskel setting me up. And it's them that's brought these travelling women up. So what Katie didn't know was when I'm in the phone call in the background with the travellers and I'm on the phone call with them and I'm saying to them, listen, because I'm saying to them, come and meet me now. Yeah, forget about the live situation. I'm dealing with this behind the scenes. Get now, come and meet me. Any one of yous, come and meet me. And they all dropped out the phone like flies. I'm on the call. This is the call that Geraldine was saying that she was going to put out. And the reason why they didn't put this call out is because I had every one of their lives from that call. I'm saying to Baskel, listen to this. Not only did you do that with the article with Rob, you fucked. You brought the travelling people up to lie about the dead. You got the woman to show the ashes on your fucking live to try and destroy my character, knowing full well that I'd never met these people. On the same phone call, right, Best Girl goes, it wasn't me. It was Katie, it's Katie's friend. Then I'm in the phone call with Jamie and I'm saying to Jamie, you do realise that when this comes out and the travelling community realise that you've got a travelling woman to come up to lie about the dead and even say that she's lost all her hair, this fucking Keisha, never met this woman, never done an awareness on her, no full well that they're lying on me. He goes, it wasn't me, it was Katie's friend. So after that, yeah, you've got Best Girl obviously don't want to be involved with it because she knows that when all this comes out, she's going to be fucked because you've got a travelling woman to come and lie about the dead to the point where she's even brought the ashes online, even all the paperwork, never met these people. Find out it was Katie's friends, the same people, the two travelling people Katie sat in the box with, the same people the travelling woman's going, I'm Katie's best friend. So all of it, yeah, if she would have come on and just said, Lakeisha did these awarenesses, this is how it made me feel, then she would have won. But because she's brought all this extra stuff in and lied and brought these fucking paid actresses up and done all the other stuff with Rob, thought she was one step ahead, didn't mention any of the other creators and what they've put out, I'm going to be able to show you my awarenesses when she told you that I'd made thousands of pounds and that my gifts were on lies. And the reason why she hadn't been able to have me arrested is because what I was saying about the Hardys was only down to the awareness. Where was the money? Where was the money? Where was the money? How I got that picture was basically Rob's give it to somebody else and they've passed it on to me for the lawyers. Because you don't even understand what's going to be coming. Yeah, there's certain things that are going to be getting taken. When you think that you control somebody and you think that you can do all this criminal activity, you're going to realise very soon, with this piece of paper here, two of them, when I explain to you the two parts of this and then it actually drops on the internet how serious this is, I can't tell you the second element because if I tell you the second element then they're going to know, but once it drops in their ears they're going to really know. So yeah, they've all played a hefty part in this. Now the thing about me is I've actually been going to the mental health services for 2 years and explaining to them everything that's happened. Explaining to them why I've done the awarenesses. The police know exactly why I did the awarenesses on the Hardys, and I've told them. And it wasn't an arrestable offence. It wasn't a civil court offence either, because everything that I said about the Hardys was only what they were saying themselves on their own lives. So if they were saying, we've received 30k, but then, you found out 2 weeks later off the other person that you've got that for free. All I was asking, well, where was the money? Where was this? Where was that? That's all I was doing. But the rest of the top creators, go listen to what Luke the Judge was saying. Go listen to what Pearl Price was saying. And all the other top creators that had a lot to say about the Hardys. I didn't say anything compared to what they were putting out. And you should have listened to what Luke the Judge said. He said the worst stuff about them. Nothing compared. She can't show you alive with me saying any of the stuff of what them top creators were saying about them. She can't show you one live with me saying any of the stuff. So why did Luke the Judge not get called out? I'll tell you why. She didn't want to call any of all them creators out because she wanted to destroy Lakeisha Black. She couldn't destroy Lakeisha Black because she was lying. She wasn't a grieving parent. Sam is a grieving parent. She tried to destroy me and Sam. Some of you mothers sat there and allowed her to speak the way she did on a mother, knowing full well that she's supposed to be a domestic violence advocate. But you have women on the internet that are allowing her to slander a mother that's not even been able to have a voice because they've had her gagged, paid to have her gagged out of your money, right? But they're allowed to come up and say she's an alky, she's neglected her kid. The situation with the child got worse when she went with her mum. She's a druggie. She's this, she's that. So you allowed Katie Hardy to speak about Sam in such a way, but she's supposed to be advocating for domestic violence. She's supposed to be advocating for people to be put in shelters. She's supposed to be the face of safeguarding women and young males from being on drink and drugs, not putting them down for the substances that they're on. How could she ever work a day ever helping or protecting women, Katie, from now? With what she's put out about other vulnerable individuals, including myself. How could she ever be an advocate for any kind of domestic violence? How could she be the face of any charity? If anything, Katie damaged herself these past 3 months with what she was doing in these lives, what she was coming out with in these lives, how erratic she was being in these lives, and what she was saying about Sam, the mother. That there within itself, she will never be able to work with vulnerable women. What she put out about Sam, she will never be able to work in that kind of department, because people in that kind of department need safeguarding. You do not come online and start speaking about somebody that's on alcohol, somebody that is going through an addiction. When you are mocking somebody's addiction and you are putting lies about somebody else's addiction online, that goes against you and your whole thing, your whole character. You want to do a fundraising? Then videos will be sent in because you are a danger to women. What you have put out and what you have allowed, you will never be able to work for a charity. You will never be able to safeguard women when it comes to domestic violence or drug addictions. You should not be the face of giving any of that advice out of what you've said on live about individuals these past 3 months. I didn't ruin Katie's reputation. Katie ruined her own reputation from the things that she was doing online. Katie told people that she's been fleeing for a very long time, but decided to show her own location and decided to go all around her house and give thousands of viewers a look from her back door to her front door. That was Katie, nobody else. But this was a person that was in hiding. Now, all I was saying was, you got all this money for the DV centre. Why is the DV centre not being set up? Why was all this stuff given for free and the DV centre wasn't set up? Where did the charity money go from the DV centre? That's all I was asking. Real questions. Looking at the charity stuff, real questions. All I was asking was the questions of what they were putting out online. I wasn't doing anything wrong. So these are all the questions. You can't sit there and say, I'm to blame for anything. When you are going to be in that kind of work, doing charity, being a part of doing fundraising, you have to be very careful with what you're putting out about addictions. You have to be very careful with what you're saying about others, especially when it's inciting hate. You will not be trusted in them kind of environments. I will always have some kind of respect for the mother. Always. I don't know her personally, and I don't want to go and find her to get to know her. But my heart will always be with the awareness, with what I saw during all them awarenesses, how it made me feel going past and having to look at them awarenesses, looking into everything and all the money that had been made and nothing to show. And the amount of people that was, you know, what I was suggesting, that was, you know, lied to. Maybe they did give some sort of good life, but we don't want you to question any of that. That's not for me to question what kind of life she was given. That's not my business, and I'm not here to sit here and go over any of that. They can explain that. My thing was just the receipts. So don't twist things. Don't make it into like I want to know about a full family situation. Just let's be real. I was asking for the receipts. And the reason why they had to do it in such a way was, imagine this. I want you to leave this one of the biggest lies that come out of Katie's mouth. Imagine this. Just listen to what Katie said. Katie said, we can't speak about anything because we're going to court right now. Okay. Well, we know Sam can't speak because we know she's been gagged. But just listen to what Katie said. We can't speak right now because all this is in the courts. 2 weeks later, Katie comes up. Katie comes up and starts showing lots of messages and videos and saying a lot of foul stuff, lies as well about Sam. And she starts speaking a lot of hefty stuff about Sam and all this other situation. But do you know what she doesn't speak about, even though she says that it's all in court so they can't speak? You know, when you ask for the receipts, you know what Katie will say? It's all in court, we can't speak about it. But you know Katie's in court, but Katie's been online speaking about everything, including Sam. So how is it that when you ask Katie and Darren for the receipts and you question anything to do with the receipts, it's, oh, we're going to court over that. But then when you ask them anything to do with Sam or any of the awarenesses or anything that happened in the past, why is it that Katie's okay to speak about it all, guys? Why is it that Katie and Darren always say that they can't speak about the receipts part of things because they're in court and they're going through a court process right now? But how is it that, how was Katie up 3-4 weeks ago, for them 3 months, saying all that stuff about Sam and showing all that evidence if it was all in court? You see, these receipts ain't going to be in court. Do you know why? Because it was nothing to do with court. Yeah, the court situation was to do with you and the mother and the child, nothing to do with the receipts. Nothing to do with the receipts. The reason why they don't ever want to speak about the receipts is because they'd never be able to provide them. Because everything that I was saying was the truth. You know, where was the money spent? Where did the money go? Why have the people not got any answers? Why did nobody get no answers from that? Why did we get answers from Katie and Darren about Keisha Black and about Sam? But why did we not get any answers about the receipts and the money and where it all went to? Oh, no, we can't speak about that because we're going through court right now. So we can speak about everything else, including the person what we're going to court for. So you can speak about Sam, but you're taking her to court. So she's gagged, she can't speak, but you can come on alive and you can speak. You can speak about everything. Everything. But we can't speak about the receipts. Have you not noticed that, anybody? Did you not notice that from Katie when she come out with that? We couldn't stop laughing. We couldn't stop laughing because weeks later she was up there telling all Sam's business to the point where she was even giving us recordings about this social services thing, what Sam wanted to try and get her own child removed out of the car. Oh, we have all of that as well. But you see, it was me then, 3 weeks later, I had the child removed. You know, because Katie has that much power to find out who gets, you know, children removed. Social services just give Katie that power and give Katie that information because she's so powerful. She's above the law. She's above the social services. So guess what, guys? You know, when Katie said that Lakeisha rung the social services and had the child removed, guess what, guys? Katie Hardy is the only person in the United Kingdom that gets to find out who's rung the social services. Imagine that. Do we all need to now ring social services and the police and ask them why she's got this kind of authority? So when somebody rung the social services and the police on me the other day, can I find out who's done, you know what, Warrior? It was you. At the police have just told me in the social services, I have that kind of authority, you see? I have that kind of authority. We do, don't we, in the UK? That's what was baffling to me. So what we're going to do is this. When you lie, I don't like liars. You know what I'm like when, when all that best girl and stuff, they tried lying about Tom and doing all that to Tom to try and discard his character. And trust me, would have been on the ground at that. He would have been like a little rat in the sewer if I didn't go in there and protect him. Because these people, when they want a narrative being spun and they want it to stick, they'll make it stick. And unfortunately, I'm like the snowman. I'm the ice person. You do not want me around when you are trying to destroy somebody, because what I will do is I will come in that live and I will deneutralize it, and what I will make it is fair. So if I see things and you're doing it to try and suit your own narrative, I have morals, and I will come in there and I will defend it if it's right, and I will put it right, whatever it is. And people don't like that about me because I can see through the bullshit. I can see through the smoke. I can see through it all. So what I'm able to do is when I do my awareness is I come with the facts. I come with the receipts. I don't need to bring Warrior in to add any extra bits. I don't need to lie. I don't need to do anything. I told you that I was not going to apologise, and you should have taken that and seen that as it being enough. We're not going to get to try and destroy me, and I'm not going to have my voice. And I told you, I'm going to allow you to have your moment, your notoriety, and your time to shine. And what did you do with that spare time, Katie? What did you do with it? You went around deceiving the viewers. You went around manipulating the viewers. You went around being a narcissist, not a grieving stepmother. A grieving stepmother wouldn't have been going to different people's boxes all different times in the day. And I used to love it when you used to come up and say things like, oh, I haven't been online, I've been out all... No, you haven't, Katie. You've been in the other boxes on the Female World Order account. Looking at everything, Katie. You see, I'm not the obsessed one, Katie. It's you. You have been obsessed for quite some time, Katie. And that is why, Katie, when Luke the judge said all them terrible things about you and yours, why didn't you say anything about it, Katie? Why didn't you play them recordings when you was, getting you were strong enough then? But why did you decide to go back around Pearl Price when she said all them terrible things about you and Darren and what you was doing with all that money with the child and the questions that she was asking you as well? Why didn't you have the same energy for her? Why did you not have the same energy for Luke? Because you didn't have the same energy for Luke when he was saying all them terrible things, and I can't wait to play that recording. I can't wait to play that recording of Luke the judge and what he had to say. What he had to say was terrible. Was terrible. Oh, and I know all the Harded fans heard it as well. So I know you know what's to come. I know. Why did you hide that video? Why did you not want that to be brought to the surface? Why was that not a part of the awareness? Why was it all the Keisha? Do you get where we're going now? So what I'm going to do is, because I'm strong enough now, I'm strong enough now. Ramia's with her dad. I'm having all the mental health support. And I've got on that side exactly what I know and what I can announce very soon. After I've announced all that and you really realise that I'm not fucking around, then I'm going to drop the awarenesses and I'm going to start putting my reputation and my character back together. And guess what? I don't care if you come up and want to counter it. I couldn't give a fuck. I don't care. I have the time. I have the energy. And after I've done what I've done, guess where I'm going, Katie? I'm going on holiday to go get my teeth done. After I've got my teeth done, everything that's been put out, they're going to be putting little documentaries that are going to be scattered around, because people need to realise when they're coming across these posts that's suggesting that I'm the reason for a child's death, I'm the reason for a child being taken away from their parents, they're going to realise that that wasn't the case. That was a lie. Disgusting lie. And them other two people that you brought up as well as paid actresses as well, they're going to be named and shamed within the Irish and travelling and Scottish community for doing what they did. Because when their families and friends find out that they use their family members that are in the ground, that are dead in the ground. You see, we go to lengths. It can take us 3 weeks, it can take us 3 months to find out exactly who you are, who you're related to, and this is the thing. Her friends that have done that, which I'm not going to be naming until the awareness is, this is what happens when you lie. You see, your family members know what happened and why that death happened. And it didn't happen to anything to do with Lakeisha Black. This is why you shouldn't lie. And do you know what the sickest part was, Katie? You allowed that woman to come up with them papers that were dead. You allowed that woman to come up and use the ashes to get one back over on me. Imagine how the viewers, when they really find out the lengths that you went to. Because you know what, Katie? I know you sat there now, and I know some of your friends have told you that you took it too far, and that's why you've had to humble yourself. But unfortunately, sweetheart, the damage is already done. You see, you've already put this shit out. You've already been in the middle of it. And I know you might have been thinking right then you weren't in the right mind frame, which it seems like you fucking want because you were doing too much. This is the kind of shit that comes back up. So if you would have come up and just done the natural awarenesses, nobody would have been able to say anything. But when you've brought them two people up to speak about the dead, now imagine grieving. You've just lost a child, and then you tried to come after the mother, and you tried to destroy me. Then people that you brought up, in fact, you find out, the whole truth comes out on the internet. I've never done an awareness on them. I don't know anything about them people, the ashes that they brought up. And I don't know this woman to have lost her hair. Now, if a family member comes up and they know why she's lost her hair, and they can tell you and go down the full family line history to say, well, that's not the case why she lost her hair. And all of this comes out, Katie. It's not going to be the travelling woman that are going to be in the shit. It's not going to be travelling women that people are going to be looking down for. You used them to get one over on me. And you did it in the most sickest way. You didn't say, oh my God, Lakeisha's robbed off of us 2 weeks ago. Or I've dealt with her and, she got her hair extensions and she didn't pay for them. You got two women to come up to lie about the dead to the point where they brought paperwork up and ashes. You wait, yeah? Because I ain't close, because you know what you've done. And you know, when all this drops, I'm going to be looking like a fucking saint. This is why you shouldn't have been a twisted little bitch. And you should have stuck to the facts. This is why you should have stuck to the facts. Because, you see me, I'm the kind of person, right? You do something like this to me, I will find out exactly who you are, who's around you, so I can do my investigation. As the police haven't been helping me and left me to do all this myself, I have a right to investigate the people that have lied about me. I have a right to investigate the people that are saying this stuff about me, and the things that they were saying, bringing up them ashes, fucking saying she's got alopecia and all this other stuff, bringing up all the paperwork, showing up on the live. That was all Katie's doing. You got two women to do that. You ain't ever going to work for a charity. You ain't ever. I'm going to be, imagine this, wasting your time to destroy somebody and you lied yourself. But you didn't just lie about something small. You got two people to come up to lie about the most disgustingest things that you can ever lie about. Somebody losing their hair and somebody that's dead. To the point where the lady brought the ashes up. She brought the paperwork up. Now listen to this. When all this comes out, Casey, I'm going to be looking like a saint. Honestly. And I know you know. I'm speaking facts. So yeah, you would have had to get your friends to come in here today, thinking that we were going to shut this shit down. No, babe. We're going full force. Let me tell you something. I'm going to leave you with this. You should have stuck with the facts. You would have won. Should have stuck with the facts. You would have won. But because you did all the extra bits, this is what happens on TikTok. You get caught out, then you're exposed. Now, when everybody finds out, what can you say? Well, I was grieving and I didn't know what I was doing. Well, you did. You clearly knew what you were doing, because you didn't just go get one person, you got two. You got two people to come up. Not best girl, not Jamie Lee. So they're not involved with any of this. You use their panel as well. And when the travelling community, the Irish and the Scottish, find out exactly what you've been doing to their people, and in such a way that I've never known anything like this to happen on social media. Ever. Ever. I would never use anybody from the travelling community because I know how deep this shit can get. And I said to Beskil, you are fucked. And that's why she knew to tell the fucking truth. So I'm not putting any of that on Beskil. And when all of it does come out, I don't want Beskil to be, yeah, it did all happen on her platform. But at the same time, all that happened on her platform, but she still told the truth. So we don't need to be putting her down. Yeah, it happened on her platform. She played a part in it, but I believe that she was oblivious. And I'll stick with that. I do believe she was oblivious. Because even Jamie Lee was oblivious. So I don't believe that they were a part of that. Her platform was used to put that out. So I could go for Beskil, but I'm not. On the phone I was. When I told her, you're fucked. Because when she knew it kicked in. You know, when you're doing something like that, and you're lying in such a way like that, people won't fuck with you. Like, you might as well just say that she went and slept with she went and got married and slept with she went to sleep with somebody before she got married. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with, something as big as that. But worse than that, the travellers don't like people lying about the dead. They don't like people's stuff being out like that. They don't like any of that because they take the dead very seriously, you know. They take the dead very seriously, even with the funerals, the way that what they do at the funerals, the way they have the graves, the stones, everything. Travellers take very, very good care of their graves and stuff like that. They're very funny when it comes to deaths. I think, to be honest, they are kind of the best at everything if you think about it. They are. Most travellers are. They're like black people. I really do respect them. So it's funny who, you know, this is what I'm saying. I knew a lot of people from the travelling community, so it wasn't hard finding out who them two women that came up there. Imagine doing that though. You must have been, you know, you must have been that desperate. And not just that as well, right? Even if she turns around and says, well, the lady said she'd do it. Or even if Katie turns around and says, well, I didn't know this is what the lady were telling me, and starts showing receipts of, you know, the lady saying that she'll come up and lie and this, that and the other. So what? You still knew what you were doing. You still knew what you were doing. I don't care if she shows receipts and turns around and says, well, I thought that Katie's going to turn around and say that these travelling women came to her and that she just thought that these were victims, right? But it's a lie. Yeah? You knew exactly what you were doing and you were a part of that. Nobody else. You and the two travelling women. Nobody else. Because guess what? We've got you, especially the woman that said it. She's saying on the live, I am Katie's best friend. So I'd love, no matter what you drop, we can prove from the phone call with Best Girl, what she said out of her mouth, what Jamie said as well out of his mouth, and also on top of what she was saying in different lives. I'd love you to counter it. I'd love you to counter it. So yeah, a lot of stuff is going to come out, but I want to get it right. I don't want people to think I'm spending my time. No, I'm spending my time going over what I did, what the receipts I asked, and I'm spending my time showing you, the viewers, what Katie didn't show you, what Katie hid, what Katie didn't want the viewers to see, and how foul and disgusting all of these other big top creators and what they had to say. Because what I had to say was, where's the receipts? Where's the money? That's all I had to say. So when you listen to what I said, and you listen to what Katie didn't want you to listen to, which was what all the other top creators were saying, you're going to be sat there asking yourselves, well, why didn't any of this get shown? Why didn't she show any of this during the awareness? Why didn't she mention any of this? And why was Katie, well, she said she was grieving around all these people that had done this to her as well. They all had something to say. So why did she go to all their boxes? Because she wanted to use their boxes to destroy me because they had the numbers. So she could not call out Luke the judge. because she needed the gifts. She needed the numbers. She couldn't call out Pearl because she needed the gifts. She needed the numbers. She couldn't call out any other top creator to the point where this other creator that they all give £1,000 to a couple of months ago, this other guy, creator, he called him out and she sat on the panel and he's going, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I asked for the receipts. She's okay with him. So all these creators, she's gone round when she's supposed to be grieving, gone and sat in all their panels talking about me. But imagine every single panel she's been on, except for Lou's Reviews, right? That spoke about her to the point she was even begging to get on Jess's because Jess can't stand her. Even Jess said the same as what Luke, the judge, said, and I'm putting everything out because even she was vile. This is what people really think about Katie. When she sat there, I'm not known for doing anything like this to kids. I'm not known for anything like scamming charities or taking money off people or being a beg. I'd rather be known as somebody that runs their mouth. Yeah, whatever. Let me be known for that. But I'm not known for them things, and that's what she can't stand. She can't stand because she can't look at her own self in her own mirror. She can't stand because lots of people, she's saying that she hasn't got a business anymore. No, you haven't got a business anymore because of what you did to yourself, of what you were putting out on live. Let's not forget he had a whole relationship, love. Let's not forget you kicked them out of the house. Let's not forget, love, you didn't even want her in the house. You put her in a shed outside. Some people in life are evil. Evil people. And I think this is why we have separate lives the way we do, honestly. Because some people are out for money. That's all they think about. And they'll do anything for it. They'll do anything for notoriety. They'll do anything for a payday. They'll use anything to get any amounts of money. It's scumbags. So in life, you'll come across scumbags. And they're the kind of people that can't help themselves when it comes to money. I'm not like that. Never been a beg on here. Never needed to beg for anything. Never needed to ever ask anybody for anything. Not that kind of person. Not that kind of mother. I have morals and dignity and respect for myself. I don't need to ask anybody for anything. You know, there's millions of children that are disabled across the UK. Some individuals believe that they're special, they're more special than other people. They believe that they're more superior, they're deserving more than anybody else, and you're not. There's a lot of people that are suffering in this world. There's a lot of people that need, money to be able to make sure their children have the best care. There's a lot of people that would have spent and will spend their money on the right things. Not everybody is the same. So all I'm doing is spreading awareness and clearing my name, because it's my time to clear my name in the right way. And I'm not doing on it. And you can try to hit me down as many times as you want. You've tried to do it for the past 3 days, and my managers just give me the account back straight away. You can keep trying. And in a second, anyways, you at the back, I'm going to delete you, and you're going to ask yourselves how I've been able to block you. This is why I leave you on the live, and then I'm going to come off the live in a minute and find out exactly who was watching me, so I am going to block you on your account. When I've blocked you, hi Spencer, sweetheart. When I've blocked you, you'll know. I'm not messing around with none of yous anymore, honest to God, and I'm putting this to bed. Once I've said all this, I am moving on with my life, moving on with my new adventure in life, looking like a goddess, looking the best I've ever been. I've nearly paid off all my teeth. 26 teeth I'm getting. 26. I think it's 13 on the top, 14 on the bottom, or it's 14 on the bottom and 13 on the top. 26 teeth. And I don't care what anybody says about my house. I don't care if you say I haven't got things in it. I live better than these people that have been getting me down. Honestly, I have to be happy. I have to be grateful. I don't have to be angry. I don't have to be sad. Ramia is having the best life right now. Yeah, with all her cousins, with her dad, with lots of family, instead of just being me in this fucking apartment, just me and her. No kid wants to do that. They want to be out and about. So she's spending the time at her dad's, building her confidence, building whatever she wants to be, instead of me saying, you can't wear this, you're not allowed to do this. Yeah, because I am that kind of mother. I'm an overprotective mother. Too much. Yeah. So she's having the time at her dad's. This is all about the growth. She needs the time. We need the time away. So while she's at her dad's, I think people must have been thinking that I'm sad and suffering. No, that could have been the best thing that could have happened right now. Honestly. Me having a breakdown, on top of all them trying to destroy me, my parenting as well, and other things that were going on. Best thing I could have done as a mother would have been allowed my daughter to go to her granddad's or her dad's. And at any given time, they'll take her here. Not a problem. She'll never go in car. Ever. I would never allow that to happen. I would never let it get to them levels. If social services come to my house and told me to get offline, I'd have to come offline and deactivate all my accounts. I'd have to deactivate. I wouldn't be like that other woman, what's her name, who used to do all that stuff, and she'd been to Vic Rose. She was told and told and told, come off. She hasn't come off. You know, I would never be that kind of mother. Social services, I would have done what Nikki would have done. Social services would have told me to come off. I would have come off. I've never been told to come off because I've never had social services in my life. My choice with my kid's dad to do the co-parenting. And if anything, social workers are happy when you have co-parenting. They agree with that. They don't really want to get involved when two parents are there. They don't have to get involved. So yeah, I've been able to do all the right things. Whilst Rami has been with her dad, I've got so much shit done. So much shit done. So much sleep. So much stuff done with other things that I can't speak about yet. So much stuff done in the background. And a lot of things moving forward. So I've made the best choice. And I think for some of them, when I was in that, they must have thought, oh my God, yeah, Rami is not with her. No. I've made the right decision. None of you lot, me. Because you lot are sick in your heads. And the people involved in this are sick. You haven't once gone and got no help. You haven't once spoke to a professional. You've just been sat here being a part of disgusting bullying, putting me down 24/7, thinking that you can speak to me in a certain way. It's been disgusting. The bullying, the harassment, all the insightful hate has been disgusting. Don't think that you're going to shut me up. Don't think that I'm going to be going away. I don't think so. You're a nobody. You are a nobody. That is why you've been left in your position. Honestly. It's why you've been left in your position for so long, because you're evil. You're evil. Evil people they're not blessed. No one's blessing an evil person. So in my life, I know that I'm not evil. I'm not evil because I don't do anything that's out of what I should be doing. I do things that are right. I stand up for people. I stand up for my awarenesses, and I'm not backing down. You won't get no apology out of me, sweetheart. Not one fucking apology. Who do you think you are to think that you can expect an apology? None at all whatsoever. I stand on what I say. And if I don't stand on it, I will apologise. If I am in the wrong and I know I've done wrong, I will apologise. I've got no reasons not to. I am a grown woman that will take accountability. And if I am wrong, I will say I am wrong. I am not wrong in this one. There was no apologies. None whatsoever. You can breathe it through your own mouth because it ain't coming out of mine. I'm a strong, independent woman, and that's how I'm going to stay. Yes, I had a breakdown. Yes, I was saying the disgusting things. But that's nothing to do with what was occurring in some other situations. That was to do with the bullying, the harassment, and everything that was coming my way. You won't get that out of me now. Because like I said, I know exactly where I'm going from now. I know what's happening very soon. I know what's happening in the aftermaths of that. I know I go on my holiday and you won't even have a fucking clue because my accounts are deactivated. I'm gone. I'm coming back and I'm doing and saying whatever I want to say. Fucking have me arrested. I don't care about being in the cells. I'm not interested about going to jail because when I come out, I will have a massive arse. Massive arse. A BBL arse. I'll have a BBL arse, honestly. So no one's bothered about going to jail. No one's interested about sitting in a cell. I'm nearly 16 days clean off the weed. 16 days clean off the weed. Not off the cigs, but off the weed. I've been going for a sunbed every day. I'm getting my teeth done in the next couple of months. Nobody's paid for them. Yeah, I have asked to lend the money off a couple of people, but then somebody wanted to and I said, no, do you know what? Actually, no, I want to pay for my teeth myself because I don't want anybody to have anything over me. When they're looking at me with my new teeth done and all my weight back on me, because I couldn't eat. I stripped myself with smoking the weed. I physically could not eat. I would not look at the food. Like, this is what happens with me, yeah? I have a food disorder. So I have a disorder where I can't eat food. I cannot eat food. So when they was taking the piss out of me, calling me skinny and stuff, I physically couldn't eat. All I could do was smoke. I could not eat. So when I get like that, yeah, I can't eat. I can't eat. I can only cook. So Remy would have a meal, and I'd make proper meals because I don't like to make her any free stuff or like pizzas or anything like that. I like to make Remy a fresh food. So every time you would see me cooking all that fresh food, it was never for me. It was always for Remy because I couldn't eat. So even when I tried to eat something, I couldn't. Like, I'd think, yeah, I can get some food now, and I'd have a bite of it, and that's it. I'm only starting to eat now because I've got my appetite back, because I'm off the weed. So because I was so depressed and just smoking, obviously I was losing all my weight because I was just sat there smoking, depressed. I couldn't even get out of my house. Now I know that this is the bad thing. I should not have been smoking. You know, shouldn't have been really smoking the weed. I think people must have been thinking that I was on coke and drinking and clubbing and doing all this. I wasn't. I was physically smoking the weed. That was making me ill. That's why my face was looking sucked in. That's why my legs looked like I was losing weight. So now, yeah, when I go on this holiday to get my teeth done, I'll be looking weighty, proper weight. And anybody that looks at me can't say to me, well, I bought you your teeth or I helped you with your teeth. I bought them myself. My friend said to me, you can't go get your teeth done now because you've got nothing done in the house. Yeah, I fucking can. But then I sat there and thought to myself, he's right. I'm paying all this money to get this because I can't afford to pay it all in one. I can't afford to pay it all in one. So I've been paid instalments because nobody can afford £5,200. So I've been paying it all in my instalments and been giving him money. But every time I've been giving him money, I've been giving him lots of money. I haven't been putting anything into the house. So when my friend said that to me the other day, I'm like, no, I'm gonna give a fuck. My house is still gonna be when I get back. I can sort all the house out. My friend was right. That's why I started buying things in the house. So last week I said to myself, I'm not paying as much for my teeth. I'm gonna be paying other things off in the house because he's right. When I come back from my teeth, I've done everything in my house, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I've got teeth done, but I need a cooker. I've got my teeth done, but I need because I have to have I can't have a washer. I need to have something to wash the pots with. So one of the things that you have, so I need to have the cooker. I need to have the fridge, I need to have the washing machine, and I need to have the other thing, what I wash all my pots with, because I can't have my pots being not cleaned. I need them to be looking clean so I can shove them straight in my cupboard. What happened was, the guy that's done my kitchen, had put an extra kitchen in. I'm taking that out, which I'm not doing right now, and that's where I'm putting my other situation in then. So I was going to put the washing machine more nearer to the sink, but I'm not. I'm putting the dishwasher near the sink, and then I'm putting the washing machine next to the dishwasher. So I've got all the appliances. My bedroom is just going to look like IKEA. So it's going to have a bed, the IKEA wardrobe, and the vanity table. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing else in that bedroom, except for all the Kardashian pictures on the wall. So it will kind of be looking like how Kim's got hers with all the pictures on the walls. That's it. Bare minimum. My daughter's room, bed, TV. She's got her own walk-in wardrobe. That's fine. She didn't even have a wardrobe in her room. She's got her own spare wardrobe to put all her clothes in and stuff like that. And and a vanity table and all the little bits and bats that she has around it. My bathroom needs to be done. So it's all grey and white. I'm going to be getting, when that gets fixed, I bought an IKEA light and it's massive. It's a mirror with the light to go in my bathroom. So when this gets fitted, because I bought the cooker, but I didn't buy the cooker, I bought the vent to go with the cooker as well. Because when I want something, I want it all done. I don't just want one thing, I want everything. So people say, well, you ain't got nothing in your house. Yeah, babe, because I want expensive stuff. I want the best of the best. You want cheap shit. So you're going to buy a £200 cooker, £300 cooker, and you're going to buy that £300 cooker. You're going to sit with it. You're going to treat it like shit because you've got in your head that you're going to wait to buy a more expensive cooker. I ain't got the time to waste like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pay and wait and save that money to buy the best of the best. When I have the best of the best, I'm going to purchase it. And then when I purchase it, I'm going to get it all fitted in. After I get it all fitted in, yeah, you're going to know that I've spent money on it. I'm not going to get something for 300 quid, yeah, get it into my house knowing full well I'm going to be paying for a big something else 6 months down the line. I can't think like that in my head. This is how my mental health goes. So I have to think of everything now. I can't think of bringing old stuff in from the new house. I have the ick. I can't do that. I can't bring pots and pans and beds and bedding in. I'm sorry, I can't live like that. When I left my old house to go to Spain, everything was given out because that's what God says for you to do. You have to give out everything in your house for free. This is what you have to do once in your life, give everything out. So what I did with my old house is I told the neighbours to come round and just take everything. And all I packed in the car was passports and pictures. I didn't give a fuck about anything in the house. So when I come to a new house, nothing is coming with me. Nothing. Except for the mail and the picture frames, because I have this weird thing of I can't do it. Since I've come out of care, they give me a care grant and they give me everything. So what happened was, why I'm like this is because when I come out of care and had my first flat, they gave me £2,500, right? They gave me £2,500 and I could do my flat up to any extent. Imagine somebody giving you £2,500 up for your first house. I didn't expect this money. This is what they gave me. Now, I couldn't have it in my hand, but they took me out to buy everything. Now, imagine the social workers giving you £2,000 for your first house and you being able to go buy everything. Well, this is how it started. Because when they gave me that £2,500, and the social worker took me out, I bought everything brand new. Everything brand new. So I never needed to think of, oh my God, you know, I've had parents and they're buying me secondhand stuff. I've never been accustomed to that. When I went to my first flat with the social workers, they gave me all that money. So I've been accustomed to have everything brand new. Now what's happened is every time I've left the house, I've always known in my head, I'm used to everything's brand new. So I cannot bring anything from this house because when I left the children's home, I didn't bring anything with me except for clothes. Okay? I left the children's home and got the flat and didn't have anything except for the clothes. They give me the money and I chose everything out. Then what happened after that in my second house was they paid me thousands of pounds, which they covered up because they didn't, well, what happened was they paid me thousands of pounds because something happened when I was a kid and they gave me all this money. Anyways, I spent all that money and they had tax on it. So, because the money were there for so long, I could get more money because my money had been there for so long. So it was like this. It was money on top of money. So I spent all that money that they gave me the compensation. But because all that money were there, I got all the extra money on top of it. But I had to put in for all that. So I had to basically, once I'd spent all that money, I was like, well, I fucking want more money. And I would go hungry for money. And then the social worker said to me, right, what you can do is you can get more money because the money that had been in that bank for all that time, it had all tax on it. And I got all of that back. So in my next house now, yeah, when I just had Ramia, all my house was kitted up. Everything was brand new. Then I moved into my other house, was Green Pasture Close, the one that I left before I got into, not this house, but because I went to Spain. When I lived in Green Pastures, that was in Osman for. top, right? I just moved in there because they gave me PIP for life. So I was on PIP for life because of what Carol and Neil did for me. I never had to go to the job centre and sign on. I never had to see them every 3 years. They gave me this thing, right? So because I'd been on PIP for a very long time, before I was on PIP, I was on this other thing, right? Before PIP even come around, I've always been on it, right? So what they fucking did was the job centre wasn't giving me this money for all these years, right? So I was entitled to severe disability premium. Yeah. Severe disability premium, right? This is how God blesses me in my house. This is why do you think I'm in this? This is how God blesses me. God said to me, we're going to do this to you, but I'm always going to bless you. I'm never going to leave you short when you go into a new house. Honestly, when I moved into this house, 4 days later, right, I had over £14,000 in severe disability premium. Honestly, I swear to God, the PIP and the job centre, they're being took to court, right, by the Supreme Court. Because what they've done is they're being took to court by somebody that weren't getting paid what they're supposed to be getting paid. Then they found out that basically the government were robbing us, yeah, for all these years and not paying us this element to this payment, right? Thousands of people were getting £23,000, £100,000, £17,000, £22,000. When I'm telling you, yeah, this all happened, I'd say about 2021, I got all this. 2022, maybe 2023 actually. Yeah, 2023, all this happened, I think. Yeah. And I got all new stuff. I spent all the money on new stuff. Kitted all the house out. Went on holiday. And had everything in the house. That's how my other house looked the way it did. Then I decided, when my baby daddy got out, I'm going to Spain to live with my friend and to go work over there for a bit. And then I ended up stupidly getting involved with a guy over there, which I really was having very dangerous sex. Very dangerous sex. Because I already had the levels of having sex in the UK and it wasn't to the levels of where I wanted it to go. So I kind of took it to the next extremes. Lots of stuff happened and I started getting really into some next level shit that you couldn't even believe. And I basically created a character in my mind. I had this character and then played the character out, and then after I played the character out, it was almost like I started a new character up and got myself involved with some hefty stuff you won't even believe. So the things that I wanted doing, things that I was saying, the things that I were into was next level, honestly. And I think that that's what made me really go a bit poorly as well. That's why I think I started smoking the weed, because I stopped smoking weed, yeah, and I think I made myself poorly because I was going to the next levels you won't even believe. So this is where the Wicked Games come from, the song Wicked Games, because I met somebody that wasn't wicked, man. But I loved every second of it. It was a next level thrill, something it was like more than a movie. Put it this way, yeah. I met somebody that was on different levels than me. Yeah, not just one, actually two people, two of them. Yeah, and I'm not a sedator or anything like that. I don't usually sedate or anything like that. I'm not that kind of person, but I'm really passionate about sex. And when people like me, usually I have a high sex drive, so it's a different kind of sex to what you lot are having, and it can really get dangerous. And I really believe that there was something wrong with me. I did believe in the end that there was something wrong with me. I'm fully out of all of that now. but I do believe mentally I was going through something. I don't know what were happening to me or why I was feeling like this. I don't know if it's just you just want to experience everything. You really just want to think, what the fuck is out here? This just can't be it. You know, because people don't believe that sex gets boring, just like how cooking gets boring. Like, people are just happy just to have sex and just to lay there and have sex. Whereas there's a lot to sex, there's a lot of elements in it. And I wanted to really push the boundaries to take it to the next extent. And there's a lot of things out there that you don't want to see, you don't want to be in. So the reason why I haven't been doing any of that is because I haven't been doing any of that kind of stuff or having it with anybody, because I know how dangerous I am and I can get in the mind when it comes to sleeping with somebody. Honestly, I'm out of control. I'm going to go down anyways and come back up.